Chairman Magnus, was there any employees involved in this incident?
Involved in the incident for us helping
Yes.
Mr. Hardin? No, not that we can tell in our interviews or any other evidence we have been able to turn out so far. No.
Okay, so no employee involvement at all?
No.
Okay.
Other than not following policy and allowing the inmate out on the kitchen dock unsupervised, or letting a gate open on the salad board. But as far as being a part of the escape with Mr. Hardin, no, can't find anything.
All right, now, Mr. Magnus, let's clarify some things. You said that there were some policy violated.
Yes,
As it related to employees, some of what employees had done?
The employee that was in the kitchen, the kitchen supervisor, allowed Mr. Hardin to go outside the kitchen and work on the back dock without being supervised, which is against policy. Then the guy in the tower that let him through the gate, you don't open that gate for anybody or anything when there's not a ground person there to verify who it is wanting to exit the prison. And 2 policies were violated there, and those 2 employees have been terminated.
I mean, my whole point is timing is everything, and I think that notification time and that timeline is a big stickler and a big problem for me, and I think many members of this committee, when they see that timeline, they're going to have the same problem, because there were Arkansans' lives that were in harm and in harm's way for that 2-hour period. That we're just, thank God that Hardin didn't run into someone outside those prison walls and harm someone, and that's what we're agitated about. That's the big issue with me, is who was in charge and why was there not notification sooner? And maybe someone can answer that today.
I can only tell you when I was notified and when I finally got in there, all the agencies that I felt like should have been notified, I heard them on the radio.
Wow.
And so I can't, other than that, I can't
Well,
tell you.
I'll just say I thank you for your testimony and taking time to come today, and hopefully we'll get some insight and some answers and maybe get a tighter ship moving forward.
You had mentioned that there was discovery of how the individual was able to get outside the kitchen and through a gate, and that those 2 employees had been terminated for violating policy. With that in mind, I was under the impression that a component of his escape was a disguise that allowed him to look like security personnel or prison staff. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you done some type of independent review or an outside review that has determined how he was able to procure a disguise, put it on, and have all of that take place without any notice?
A few things that I can say that I've seen, and a couple of things that I was told. I want to make sure I make that clear. It was my understanding that that became available to him a black marker, regular black marker, and that's how he dyed his clothes to make it look dark. I did actually see the little badge that he made out of a soup can top, and I actually physically seen that, and also of course seen his ID that he lost in the woods. But those are the items I've seen, and but the one, how he got it dark, I can only assume, as I was told, that he used a magic marker to darken his clothes.
What is the root cause? Where did this start? Or if we change this, we wouldn't have to worry about all the things downstream. In your opinion, is the wood?
We had 2 chances to prevent this. We failed on both. The officer in the kitchen had directed us not to allow this inmate to go out there, and he did. The officer in the tower allowed this inmate to go through both gates and never asked who he was. I spoke to that officer personally and asked him, why did you let that person out? His comment to me was he thought it was an option. They were complacent in their job duties. And when you have somebody complacent like that, bad things happen, unfortunately. We had the policies in place. We had the procedures in place. They just didn't follow them.
Clearly, they weren't one-offs. How often do y'all do your own assessments to make sure that your employees are following protocol, especially at entry points and exit points?
We have seasoned staff, and the staff that's on these positions have post orders that are followed. They're signed these post orders daily. We have people that work at the Sally Port gate itself, but this was on the weekend, this was on a Sunday. The incident took place, there should not have been anyone coming through that gate at that time during what was going on. And that's a fail on our part.
Through this experience, I was just curious from a leadership perspective, what have you and your team learned through this that will be beneficial moving forward?
To check and double check, to make sure that we take care of things that need to be taken care of, that we follow our policies and procedures. What we're looking at now is this inmate was assigned to that kitchen area for 7 years. He worked in that same job for that long period of time. And that's way too long. So that's something that we're going to focus on and look at to see. We don't need someone that gets that comfortable, because in a period of time like that, staff gets comfortable too. You lose that perspective of security first. And that's something that we can't do.